Hello. All right, so I was guided to share this with those of you who are doing spiritual business stuff. I know sometimes people can make a big deal out of things, okay? I've been seeing stuff pop up on my feed from different people who are offering something like a course or a workshop or some sort of master class or whatever, okay? And I do think that there is a space for those things, and I think those are things you can create, and those are things that you can benefit from, and I think those are necessary steps and tools depending on what it is and who you are and what you're doing. But I also feel like a lot of times people block themselves from ever even beginning or ever even doing something because they feel like they don't have enough of that yet. Like they didn't get this certificate or that certificate, or, they aren't certified for this, or they didn't master some class, right? But even the people who go to those events and go to those classes and those workshops and those certificate things. I've seen many people go to them and still do nothing with the teaching. They basically start acquiring all these certificates and all of these modalities, and then they just kind of sit on them. And then there's those who do get them and take action on them, but I feel like sometimes they still hold themselves back, particularly when it comes to going online. Okay? And I think there's a few reasons for that. I think some people are just intimidated to put themselves online. Like they don't want to put their face on camera. And in the world that we're in right now, you don't even need to. You don't have to put your face on camera to reach people. Like podcasts exist. Podcasts are now starting to incorporate video into the podcast, but not every single one does. You don't always have to have your face be shown to express your voice, and you don't even have to use your voice if you don't want to. There's ways of creating stuff now where you could just have a video with words on the screen. You can just have AI speak over. Like there's back in the beginning of my awakening, right, when I first stumbled onto YouTube and all of that, that's all that there was, really. The majority of videos was just a fucking picture with some words on the screen. You were lucky if that video was going to speak in any way to you to do with awakening. Okay, spiritual awakening stuff. I had to read everything in slow motion to learn what I was learning back then. And there was like 3 creators creating content to do with spiritual awakening and those concepts and all of that. And a lot of people weren't doing it with the visual part of it. So if you can push yourself to do the visual part of it, awesome sauce. But it is not necessary if you have a message to give. And like what I've been doing over these past couple of weeks with the rituals, that is something I used to do. I used to do guided meditation events every week. I used to do, and it's like not even used to do. It's just what's become of what I do. What I do is I listen to spirit and I let spirit guide me on what to do and when to do it and how to do it and what should be incorporated into that. And that's why I wanted to say this tonight too, is if you have something to offer or you're just wanting to offer something, don't make a big deal about it, okay? Like, just go with the flow. Trust spirit will guide you. I've had so many people ask me about, like, how do I make a ritual? And it's like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. How do you make a video? Just do it. Like, you'll get better at it. Maybe your first ritual isn't going to be the most elaborate. And if you're totally unsure, there's books and there's, ways that we can just Google and be like, hey, what's a good ritual? And if there's parts of that ritual that you don't like, make it your own. That's another thing I learned early on, was like, just make it your own. So like when I go to a certificate class or I go to somebody's meditation, if there's something in it that resonates for me, I might incorporate it into my repertoire of things, but I'm not gonna copycat, and I'm not gonna hold myself back from doing what I'm guided to do just because I didn't get a certain certificate. I have a lot of certificates. I went to a lot of classes. I learned a lot of things, but I still incorporate like sound tools without any sound certificate. I made my drum and I played my drum. It wasn't a big deal. When I'm guided to work with the Syrian siren seductive energy, I work with it, and I do what I'm guided to do, and it makes sense intuitively. Like, okay, water makes sense for me and for that energy. Maybe you don't even know what the Syrian seductive whatever blah blah blah. You don't need to, because I do, and that's what I bring to the collective. What is it that you feel guided to bring to the collective? Maybe you're being guided to work with fire. Maybe you're being guided to work with air. Like, I do a lot of fire and water. You know, I like fast. I like steady. I don't like slow, ba 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 boop. So maybe you're somebody that can bring the slow, ba 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 boop. And I think it's interesting because all of my signs are like earth signs. You would think I would be more about like the earth, like slow down shit. I like the color green, but I want things to be faster. I was talking about that in a video on the Divine Essentials channel tonight. Is like lately my attention span is just like 2 minutes is too long, speed this video up. And you can do that on a lot of videos. Just hit that thing and you can speed it up. There's like a little circle that looks like your settings wheel. You can speed it up on most places. Some places you can't. And if you can't, usually I'm like, but keep that in mind too, that you don't need to create crazy long content or crazy long things. You're probably better off not to in this day and age. I think what's been going on with me lately is just like an amplified amount of energy. I don't think it's to do with that. Like, I know I've definitely been a victim of like social media and all of that, but I'm not usually that much of a person that's like, I can't even watch for 2 minutes. Like, I usually watch everything to the end, and I can tell when the other people don't, because I read the comments. Like, I hear your video 6 times sometimes when my conscious is normally tapped in. Lately, I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I can't pay attention to even my own stuff. But yeah, I still go with what I'm being guided to go with, and I keep that in mind too. Like, when I'm not feeling my best, I don't put out a bunch of content, and that's another reason why batching your content might be beneficial to you. Like, when we start to feel good, or we know as a woman that like we're on a cycle, and 2 months or 2 weeks out of the month, you may not be feeling your best. You may not be wanting to create a bunch of content. Make it when you're feeling good, and then spread it out, and take your long form content and spread it out. Like, I did a 55-minute ritual tonight. People paid to come be a part of that. I took that video and chopped down like 9 minutes of the 55 minutes to share and show people the highlights of it, so that the next time I do a ritual, those people may want to be a part of it. They're going to know, like, oh wow, she's doing cool stuff. I want to be a part of it. So keep that in mind too when you're trying to put yourself out there, is be consistent that in sharing what you have. Another thing I noticed this week is I created the star rates so long ago, okay? Like, I put them online so long ago, years ago. Thousands of people have seen the videos on YouTube. Not everybody, though, has purchased the rights themselves. They've learned about it, but they haven't always gone and got that right. I have the 4 of them on my website together in like a package for $55, but I just put them onto Etsy this last week individually. So it's like for $14 you get this one, 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 and you can pick and choose and get whichever you want. And I shared it onto my Facebook, like the description of it, and so many people that I have known for years that have probably read that description before, have heard about the star rights before, have been, invited to be able to come be a part of it before, are like, oh my goodness, I'm resonating with this. I want to see about this. Oh my goodness. People that I've known for years that had it available to them purchased it again. Like, it's the energy and frequency. So it's like, you don't always have to be creating new stuff. This is something I need to get into my head too, because I have created a massive amount of stuff. I have the star rights, the Moon key rights. I have like the all of the classes and all of the activations, Alcyon light healing, over 100 and something videos. Yet here I am every day, like just reshare some shit. I was watching a big creator on Facebook recently, and saw like this person every day is sharing the same video. Like one time they'll share it to their rails, another time they'll share it to their to their post. Because if you're on Facebook, you when you make a video, you can share it as a rail or you can share it as a post, and the rails cut it down to like 90 seconds, but the posts allow it to go to the full length. But varying it up and posting more than once is something that is a tactic that's been around for a long time, because people who watch Facebook at 9 a.m. are different people who watch it at 9 p.m. And sometimes they're not there every day, and sometimes they're not there when you post, so they don't see what you posted. So we also want to pay attention to when we post, the reactions we're getting, you know, and do things that we know are going to get traction, because when we know we're getting traction with something and then we slip something else in there that may not always get as much traction, it's going to get further traction based on the other stuff. So like Facebook for some reason seems like a place where like memes are the place. It's like, and if you want your meme to be seen, you need to post it by yourself. You can't share another person's meme, you can't share another person's rail, you can't share another person's video and expect it to get like thousands of views, because it just doesn't. It just doesn't. That's not how it works, okay? So don't do that. And when we see a meme that many people are liking and whatever resonates with us, we could take that and post it as a picture and put some little hashtags in there, and that's going to get seen by a lot more people. It's going to get traction, it's going to get liked. Even better if it's something that's like comment 888 to activate, or comment 888 if you're open to receive, boop, because then people start commenting, like say amen, people start commenting, it's going to get shown to more people. But if you just like share someone else's, only a couple people see it, right? So we use that tactic there, knowing that, to get those people to like it and comment in, and then we share something else. And the rule is like the 70-30 split there. It's like 70% of the time it's entertaining, it's educational, it's inspiring, it's something that they like and that they're easily like woohoo about. And then the other 30% of the time it's like, oh hey guys, look, I'm offering this thing. And they're still gonna be liking it and engaged in it. It may just not be as many people, but it's much more likely to reach the right people when we're sharing other things that are reaching them easily, like the memes and stuff like that. And then on Instagram, when we want to share stuff over there, rails get pushed out. Rails do better than anything else. So we want to keep it short, under 30 seconds. Instagram will tell you this. You know, Instagram will tell you. They'll be like, hey, yo, bitch, this video will do better if it's under 30 seconds long. Keep it popping. And it's like, okay, so if you put enough of those out, more people start seeing your stuff, more people start following your stuff, then you slip in something else once in a while to be like, hey, let me bring you some value to your life instead of just this fucking 30-second dopamine hit. and be strategic in the way that you do it. But yeah, don't overthink it. Don't wait to be certified, master, whatever. If you're feeling guided to share something or do something, do it. Especially as spiritual people. And be inspired by what other spiritual people are doing. Like, I see girls who do just, like, Reiki healing. Like, especially, like, on TikTok, too. Like, on TikTok, there'll just be a girl, like, doing the energy healing. And you can do that. You can do that. You want to do that? Do that. You want to do the light language? Do that language. Whatever, man. Don't worry about it. There's an audience for everything. Also, I was going to talk about something that I saw. I'll probably make another video about this too, but anger marketing is like, I saw a video the other day, right? It was a girl. She's like, making my husband his dinner after his 15-hour shift, right? And it was a disgusting stove, and she was using tons of salt, and she was just doing stuff to trigger people, and it worked. Thousands and thousands of views, hundreds and hundreds of comments, people being like, what the fuck is this, blah, 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 blah. And she was literally just doing like the worst shit ever, like deep frying McDonald's that they already had bought earlier, deep frying like shit that you don't deep fry, putting an egg into like frying pan of deep fryer, deep frying an egg, like just doing a lot doing a lot of nasty, like, I'm not kidding, like, she had a big thing of salt like this. And people are like, oh my god, it's such a waste, there's people hungry, blah, 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 blah. But that bitch ain't hungry because she's pissing people off. And she's getting tons of views, and she has merch, and she, like, people follow it because she makes this, like, every day, like, feeding men, and she'll put herself in there, too, because she's a woman, and she's sexy, she's got an ass, right? So she'll be like, once in a while, camera's pointed at her, and she's like, making my husband his lunch before his 15-hour shift, and just, like, using stuff with mold in it, like, just doing stuff to make people go nuts and go crazy, and it works. Okay, so you can do stuff like that. You don't have to, but just know that there's an audience for everything, and the more controversy, or the more sped up, or the more entertaining it is, the better you'll do. But you can still find your people within there, being authentic. Like, I have people who message me and let me know, like, oh my god, every time I do these rituals, they help me so much. Thank you. Like, another person be like, actually last week 2 different people sent me videos of, like, the things that they have from me. They're like, I have this from you, and I have this from you, and I have all these things from you, and it's like, thank you so much. And it reminds me that people do find value in what I do, and my products and my offers, and they purchase them, and they come back because they believe in it, and they trust it, and they know it. So you can find the right people without going down the crazy weird marketing avenues. But you can also, like, sometimes I debate, I'm like, it's so easy, man, to piss people off. But that's another energy that's present right now, so be careful. Like, I see those things where it's like, I know I could do a fucking OnlyFans and be sitting pretty, but integrity, I guess, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the right path for me. But yeah, it would be much easier to just show some ass and get paid for it. But take that route that's less traveled. It will be rewarding in the end. And do what your heart's guiding you to do. Don't feel like you need to be an expert in everything. Okay, so 1717, in Renee, namaste.